this show isn't produced.
What the hell are you talking about? This show is 100% produced. And her reason is because he locked her out and she was really locked out. The producers could have came at any time and let you in. Married at First Sight season 17 has come to an end. We know this. It was a disaster. It was a train wreck. Starting next week, we will see the reunion specials. But in the meantime, they have done a multiple cast tell-all, and it is going to get interesting, and it did get interesting, to say the least. But it is one thing that is kind of peculiar, if you will, not really if you watch the show, is that they only got one couple that made it up there. The rest have all been broken up. What the hell does that say about the show? Not very positive things. But I digress. Let's get into it. First, make sure you comment, like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications. I really appreciate the support. We have hit 500. Thank you so much. We are halfway to 1,000, and once we get there, we're going to be looking at that live show. I am so looking forward to that, so please subscribe, share, do all the things, comment. Definitely. Thank you so much. First, getting into it. Now, admittedly, a couple of these, I didn't know who they were because I didn't watch every season. The couple, I know who they were because I watched bits and pieces of the episode, so I knew a little bit of that disaster story. We'll get into that one. But a couple of them, I had no idea who they were because I did not watch the season at all, but it proved to be even more interesting. But we'll start with one person I did actually watch the season, and that is Aris. Now, Aris was an interesting one because he was almost too honest about how he was not attracted to his wife at the time. I cannot remember her name. Please forgive me. I do not have the best memory. But he was particularly pretty honest that she was not his type. Now, during the season, it seemed like a little much. But looking back, it's almost nostalgic because we had this season where Brennan was just constantly saying, I'm not going to say how I really feel because I don't want to hurt any feelings. Obviously, that says a whole lot right there. So I do appreciate the honesty. And overall, I think he was probably a decent guy, just was not ready for commitment. Definitely say he shouldn't have gone on the show, but he did. And here we are.
We got back from our honeymoon. I'm knocked out sleep.
Sleep.
Jasmine nudges me at 3 in the morning. And she's like, Aris, why don't we have any sexual chemistry?
Now, he is saying this right from the jump. But listen to what he says about how this unfolds.
And she's like, please be honest with me.
Yeah.
So I say my reason, and she's like, oh my gosh, please tell me you didn't say this on camera. And
there it is. So he was honest with her off camera, and there was no reason to believe he wasn't. Now, on camera, he did say, the physical attraction wasn't there, so he wasn't dishonest, but apparently she wanted to know reasons. He gave it to her more off camera, and then didn't want him to say it on camera, and he was respecting that. So there is a respect in that. What Brennan did was simply say, oh no, I'm not going to be that guy. I'm not going to say these are just mean things. I'm like, well, that says everything you need to know right there. You don't want to say these mean things. So she's thinking even the worst because you don't want to say it. So there is a respect in that and being honest. I still think he put way too much emphasis on physical attraction. And because of that, he is going to struggle with any marriage in the future. But if he can get past that, he might be able to have a successful marriage. Now, the next question for him is, if even off camera, y'all tried to work through some of these intimacy issues or these attraction issues. And it really looks more genuine when you come to this. And you kind of see the evolution of the seasons when it comes to this, because even just a few seasons, this was not long ago. This was, I don't even know, just a couple seasons ago. I don't know exactly how long it was. You kind of lose track. It's been 17 seasons in 10 years. It's a lot. But it's only been a couple seasons ago, and you see how it just went from that, only a couple seasons ago, to this season, which was just completely get the clicks, get the views, reality TV, serious reality train wreck, no lie there. And it just really became something that if you really are looking for a show that you want people to be successful, it's never going to be that. And it's not going to be again, unfortunately.
We tried to work through it.
Would
I say, I could have done more? Yes, I could have done more.
And you know what? I have respect for that because he's admitting that he could have done more. And he even says, now, she is not there. Full disclosure, she is not there to say, oh, he's lying. He's any of this. He doesn't come off as he's not genuine, so I don't think she would. But he says they're on good terms. He still loves the dog, so it's all good. But clearly, even with the non-attraction being there, even with the it always being more of a friendship than it was a relationship. There was a respect there, and I have respect for him, even though he didn't give it the shot it should have gotten. He definitely didn't, and that was his fault. He couldn't get past whatever physical aspects she didn't have that he wanted. He couldn't get past it, and that's a problem. He needs to work on that if he wants to be successful in a marriage. But he was honest. He told her the things maybe she didn't want to hear, but she asked for and was honest with her about it. Tried to work through it, didn't happen, and now, he's got nothing but respect, nothing but, no negative things to say. So, kudos to Aris. I really don't have a whole lot of negative things to say about him. He could have done better, sure. He absolutely could have tried harder, but he didn't. He seems like an overall upstanding guy. Wish him nothing but the best, hopefully. So, we will see. Paige is an interesting one because I know nothing about Paige. I did not watch the season, but watching some of these clips, she clearly had a go of it. It looks like she probably got about the worst guy you could possibly have gotten. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but from what I've just seen, having not watched her season, it was insane. Now, this is Pastor Cal talking to who was her husband on her season. Talking about traction.
I think it would have to be the physical features.
What?
Like the face.
What the? See, that is not how you do it. That is worse than Brennan. It's certainly worse than Aris, who really wasn't that bad. It's got to be the physical features that's the problem. The face. Like, just the whole damn face. Like, what the hell is wrong with this guy? Like, clearly, this guy had... Why? This is why I have said so many times, how the hell do these people get past the screening? How the hell do these people get past these experts? Because even in these, I don't know how long ago this one was, but even in these seasons, there clearly was an aspect of, we need to have entertaining television. For sure, it is a show, we have to acknowledge that. But clearly, you had to know that there were some issues with this guy. There's no way. There's just no way.
His ex-fiance was pregnant.
What the...
I'm really not.
You can't tell me.
I honestly don't know.
First, tell me, because I don't know. If you watch the season, tell me. Did she find this out? Did this supposedly happen, like he slept with her before he went on the show, or did he cheat on her? Because I just don't know. I didn't watch the season. So it's jacked up no matter what, because that means you're going to have unprotected sex before you go on this show and get her pregnant, or you cheated on her. You're a messed up individual. You are a jacked up human being. You have no respect. You are no man. Look, I know the season is old, but take that damn man card, because this dude is freaking worthless. You got your ex-fiance pregnant, but obviously you had no commitment to the show, or you cheated on your wife and got your ex-fiance pregnant. And before you say anything about, other guys doing this, they're all pieces of garbage. If you go out and you cheat on your wife, period, you are a piece of garbage. And certainly it steps it up to a whole nother level if you cheat on your wife and get someone else pregnant. Now, I don't know if he cheated. This may have been before. But either way, it makes you a piece of garbage because you knew what you were going on the show. No matter how you cut it, piece of garbage. Absolutely. Does not change.
That aren't even half as horrendous as what you went through. What do you think about that?
I just wonder why sign up for a show when you know that there's certain things that can present itself, but...
Never has more truth been spoken. Why sign up for a show when there's things out there that could present themselves, when you're not a person who is ready? Could it be that you just want the camera time? Some of them, absolutely yes. Some of them, maybe they just want it to magically work, but they don't want to do any work because they're freaking lazy. Whether it's females who are not wanting to really commit, whether it's males who are not really wanting to man up, the people they choose on this damn show is insane. Like, I could go out to a Walmart and pick better people. And you've seen some of those pictures of Walmart on the internet. Come on. I could do better just going out and talking to a couple people for 10 minutes. Figuring out who needs to get matched, who could get matched. If you could have a bunch of singles around, I could go in there and choose them better than these experts can. Say, yep, you'll work. I'd at least have a 50% record. What's y'all's? It's like 15%? I don't know. I should have looked it up. Maybe I will before the next reunion special and see what the actual percentage is.
Well, no, that was actually
I'm waiting.
conversation that I had
I'm on
with
pins and
producer.
needles.
I am Done. Period. I'm done.
What the? Oh my gosh. Did this happen in all its glory? Why did I miss this season? Why on earth did I miss this damn season?
Drag me through you.
Oh damn! Oh damn! Oh damn! Good God! Yes! You know what? Never have I seen. Okay, you know what? I said that a lot. Never have I seen. Okay. Maybe not never have I seen, but damn, that was fantastic. Get your damn aggression out. When it comes to this fool right here, when it comes to what he's doing, sleeping with his ex-fiance, getting someone pregnant, whether it's before the show, during the show, after the show, whatever, when you're still supposed to be in a committed relationship or supposed to be going into a committed relationship, let me reiterate, you are human debris. You are a piece of garbage. And guess what? You deserved every bit of cussing out. If she would have hit you, I would have been like, yeah, you deserve that. You deserve that. Absolutely. It's ridiculous, like, that you have guys on here. This guy, clearly, no aspect of him, no inch of him was ready for anything that resembles a relationship, let alone a marriage. How you had an ex-fiance? Let me guess. Y'all broke up because you cheated on her. I'm sorry, shot in the dark. Yeah, exactly. Stupid as holy hell, why are you here? And yet, all you did was tear up, come through like a tornado, and mess with this lady's life. I feel bad for her. You can disappear, and I'm not going to feel guilty at all. Like, go out of the public eye, whatever. Which, like I said, I never watched the show, or that season, so I don't know what happened to the guy. But obviously, look, I hope he changed his ways. But he definitely was not showing positive signs. That is for sure. Now, Jaime and Doug are the one couple that was here before, or the one couple that is here that made it, okay? Problem with them is that being the one couple that made it is not exactly a good thing. And oh, by the way, they started off pretty rocky as hell. And let me point out the fact that this is not her first stint on reality TV. Dating show or whatever, reality dating show. She was on The Bachelor. Now, I hate myself for having watched The Bachelor. I hate it. But it is insane too, and it is all orchestrated, and it's entertaining. Don't watch it for love. Listen, if you're trying to watch one of these shows, this one I kind of got in the beginning. It's getting away from that. The Bachelor, if you're watching that, don't watch it for love. It ain't gonna work out. If you're doing the Bachelor, whatever Bachelor viewing parties and stuff, and you're hoping it'll just work out, it won't. I'm gonna spoil it for you. It won't. Watch it for entertainment value, sure. But just know that people are they're not in it for the right reasons. The producers are not in it for the right reasons. Regardless, she was on that show and she was awkward as hell. It was ridiculous to watch. And she got sent home soon after that. Now, that could have simply been because of the camera and she was uncomfortable. I'm not saying she particularly did anything wrong on that show. But then she came to this show and it kind of raised some questions about, okay, you're here now. Why? And right off the bat, she clearly showed that she was not willing to just open her mind to potential love without being like, I am attracted to this person 100%. Now, I know that's easier said than done. There is physical attraction, and it does matter on some level. But you have to go into something like this knowing that it's got to be deeper than that. You're going to have to look deeper. You're going to have to try to get past some of the physical aspects because you're probably not going to have a person that is whatever exactly your type is. She fell to the floor.
That the experts failed her.
Yes.
I should have had zero
absolutely
expectations,
did.
but I was hopeful for
See,
the
okay.
chemistry and the sparks and I
good
really
for her for
wanted
being
this to be
hopeful.
like the one wedding. And then
Yeah, she wanted it to be the one wedding. She was hopeful, so kudos to her for that. It didn't play out that way, and she clearly didn't handle it that well, and she was constantly saying how she wasn't attracted to him. And I don't remember exactly her words, but she was not kind with this. So we see this sometimes. Now, good for him for sticking it out in this aspect because, there could have been any chance where he just cut and run. It's like, look, I'm not going to take this. Look, whatever. You don't have to call me ugly all the time. You don't have to say you're not attracted to me all the time. And it goes the same for the girls. The guy doesn't always have to say that. Now, in Aris's case, she asked him, and he said it as respectfully as he could. And he said, as much as him saying it's just not, his type. And then you have the Brennan crowd who's saying the worst thing he can say without saying anything by going, oh, well, yeah, I'm not going to say anything mean. Like, okay, so you want to just call her ugly straight up? So there are levels. You can definitely do it respectfully. Her dropping to the floor crying was not a good way to handle it. That's for sure.
Appreciated her reaction.
Oh.
Okay.
I did, because I'm a confident person. I knew it was day one, day two. I appreciated her being real.
He appreciates it after the fact. He appreciates it after being married for 10 years. Let's be honest. If I ever, again, I get, this was the first season, so, and I didn't watch the whole thing. I just did see some episodes with them, full disclosure. But the ones I saw, he wasn't exactly thrilled that she was being very kind of cold. So he probably handled it better than most, but him saying, I really respected what she did. No, you didn't. You didn't. It hurt your feelings. And you know what? Most people wouldn't be able to just brush off that someone is just not attracted to you, but yet you have to make a relationship work. You know, if someone's not attracted to you in the real world, you walk away and you don't see them again and you're maybe upset for a minute and you move on. In this, you're married, you're in it, you're trying to make it work, and you have to know this person's not attracted to you. So, yes, that makes it extra difficult. I think he's kind of doing some revisionist history here, if you will. But I think overall he handled it well and he stuck it out. So I don't really have anything negative to say there.
Why I didn't drink. I never discussed the extent of it to her until recently.
Okay. Hold on. Y'all have been married for 10 years and you didn't explain the extent of your addiction until recently. Now, I am a recovering addict. I have said this many times. Y'all know it. So when you say that, that is already a red flag if it took you that long. But there's more.
The whole time I've known him, he's been in recovery. I mean, he was taking a secret medication that he hid from me.
What are you talking? And you don't see this as a red flag? Like, look, I'm just pointing out that he took a medication. Now, this could be Suboxone. I don't know exactly if he was just an alcoholic or if he was opiates or whatever. It could be Suboxone, could be Antabuse for alcohol, could be a number of medications that he took. I don't know what it was exactly, but you were hiding a medication until not that long ago that you were taking for your addiction. Now, keep in mind, medications are supposed to be temporary. It's supposed to be like a taper off. And yet we're at a place, kind of a side note, where a lot of people just take it and that's all. They just never go off of it, or at least for a long time, because they're trying to avoid that that extra withdrawal you have to go through because you're completely off. So he's saying he's off now. Kudos to him. But we do have a problem with I hope that they're addressing in their own therapy or something of the fact that it took you almost 10 years to say the extent of your drug alcohol addiction, and you hid taking a pill or whatever it was for it for a lot of years or however long it was. That is a problem. So just know that any marriage is going to have issues, of course, and they definitely have some cracks, but they're still together. So, there's that. But work on it. That's all I'm going to say. If y'all want it to work, continue to work on it. Because with addiction, there's a lot of lying. There's a lot of dishonesty. There's a lot of things that hurt people. So if there's still things coming out 10 years later, but supposedly you've been clean for 10 years, that's a problem.
It's crazy to think about it, but it's, it's been way over 10 years.
Congratulations.
Hold on. Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right. If you know that clip. Listen, I have been clean for 8 years, October 2nd. This year, October 2nd, I have been clean 8 years. I know exactly when I got clean. And yet, for him, he is saying, oh, it's been well over 10 years. If you don't know your exact date, questions will be raised. If you don't know your date, if you don't know how many years, why? Are you really clean? I mean, maybe it does not mean that much to you, okay? For me, it means a lot to me. It just does. And I don't know many addicts who are legitimately clean and who have legitimately turned their life around that don't know their exact clean date and how many years. It's just a fact. This is an issue. I'm telling you right now, that's a problem. And that would raise a red flag to me saying, even if he's clean now, he really hasn't committed. So I think that definitely they need to keep an eye on that. Because if he is clean now, how long is it going to last? Now,
Sorry.
Clips of Emily and Brennan. So they're playing the clip where obviously he's over there talking about, why do you say I'm not fun and stuff like that? And that's kind of the first we saw cracks in the relationship. But what they say is interesting.
Like Brennan was aware the cameras were rolling. Do you guys remember that?
Oh, yeah.
What did you think about that?
Well, I thought that was the most real.
You are so full of crap that, listen, and I say that with the most respect because I really don't have anything against Jaime, but you are really trying to say that he was unaware the cameras were there. He knew the cameras were there. No, that was a sign where he started to break on his personality and started to show that he has kind of an angry, frustrated side. Now, as I have said, I think that a lot of the males, as wrong as they were also portrayed as more of the villains, and some of the issues the females might have had were kind of downplayed. So I definitely think everyone in the season had their faults. No one was ready for a relationship, and it definitely was kind of one-sided. Now, Brennan made a lot of mistakes. Brennan was clearly not ready, and Brennan did not treat Emily right, at least on camera. So we had this situation, but he knew the cameras were there. Don't act like he didn't know the cameras were there. He knew they were there 100%. He just got frustrated in that moment. Now, it was a stupid reason to get frustrated because she's just like, oh, you're not having any fun. So dumb. But he did. So to act like they don't know the cameras were there, it was stupid. And they go on to show some other times. They all know the cameras are there. They're everywhere. But yet they just, in those moments, they get frustrated enough that they just say whatever.
Something pretty rough.
Yes,
you locked
did.
me out. I didn't take anything with me.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Banging on the door.
You know, I lock the door every night. I secure my property before I go to sleep.
Okay, before we get into anything else, him saying, you know I secure my property before I go to sleep, ridiculous. He knows she was out. You do not leave your wife out. Give me a break.
I feel like you don't care.
He didn't care. He didn't care. Look at him. He's smirking the whole damn time. Seriously. He's smirking the whole damn time. This fool did not care. He didn't give a damn. He locked you out. He didn't care. He said, "Oh, I lock it up every night." You knew your wife was out. You're an idiot. You're sitting here making breakfast, saying, "I don't know," smirking, smiling. That's his thing throughout the whole way. He was an idiot, and that is very, very clear.
And I did remain calm, and it was for cameras.
Yeah.
But had cameras not been there,
I remained calm, and it was 4 cameras. So at least you admit it. You're like, I was recognizing the cameras were there, and I was trying not to lose my on this guy because I'm gonna be fighting him otherwise. So at least you admit it.
I couldn't believe it. That's when I realized this show isn't produced.
What the hell are you talking about? This show is 100% produced. And her reason is because he locked her out and she was really locked out. The producers could have came at any time and let you in. What part of you don't understand that they have their own key, I'm sure. They have someone watching the cameras all the time. And yet they didn't for the disaster. So what you just said is that this is when I realized it's not produced. What you just said actually proves it's 100% produced. Come on, lady. You are smarter than that. I feel bad for you because he dogged you and he was a douche. But at least recognize that the producers are trying to make a show that gets clicks, that gets plays. It is produced. And that was your realization for not being produced? Come on. There is a producer back in that room watching that camera all the time so they can mark down when good things happen. You don't think they wrote down time? 3 a.m. Come on. You're smarter than that. Overall, we had some interesting insights in this show, and for me, I learned some things because I didn't watch every season. I didn't hit on everyone because, quite frankly, we don't need to hit on everyone, but there were definitely some revelations, definitely some interesting things, and definitely some naivety when it comes to like people like Rachel, who can't seem to recognize that this is still a produced show. And obviously, your douchebag husband, just because he locked you out and you were locked out that whole night, which, oh, by the way, man card revoked because you are no man when you are not protecting your wife. You are not protecting your woman. So, none of the only one on there that could be somewhat categorized as a man is Aris because he was honest, he was calm, he actually seemed like a decent guy, even though he obviously had some proclivities, if you will. But for the most part, we still had a bunch of douchebags, and they can't recognize that. Rachel could not recognize that this was a produced show, that she was left out all night. Really, you could probably blame it more on the producer because you had a douchebag husband, but they could have let you in. If you don't think these producers or the people at the show have keys to every apartment, then that's just being naive. Of course they have ways of getting in, ways of seeing things, ways of doing all these things. Of course they do. So They let you out and they could have gone and said, unlocked the door and said, you can't do that. And she probably wouldn't have stayed there anyway. But it's ridiculous. It was a fun, past cast tell all to see. I'm looking forward to the reunion next week because it is going to be, just the clips look insane. And I don't know, there might be a fight. Probably not. But there, maybe it'll be like a Jerry Springer thing. So we will see. Make sure you comment, like, subscribe, hit the bell so you get notifications when new videos come out. I definitely appreciate the support. We are halfway to 1,000. Let's get there. Make sure you share. Thank you so much, and I will see y'all next time.